Here's hoping that Halo Season 2 and all the new modes that they're bringing will fix the problem that it is having, and that is, at least on the PC side of things, the game is very slowly dying. Maybe not so very slowly. At last indication from Steam charts, there were a peak of about 6,000 players actively playing at any given time. That's the peak. When you compare this to other games like Warzone and Apex Legends, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, that are in the hundreds of thousands of players, obviously there's a concern here. So, super excited that we're going back from the latest Halo Master Chief Collection push with Firefight and Flood Fight and all that wonderful stuff, and they're bringing it back for Season 2 of Halo Infinite. And I'm really hoping here, that we're going to get some sort of major event. I know they're already teasing some stuff, but they really need to hype this as like Halo 2.0. I think maybe that hype will get people back in, because these patch notes, while they're interesting to me, as somebody who, believe it or not, still enjoys the game, I don't know to the regular layman if they're going to look at this and go, oh my God, I have to have this content in my life. That remains to be seen. So, in a very large Halo Waypoint blog post, which I will post in the description box below, Alex Wayford talks all about Season 2 of Halo Infinite, known as the Lone Wolf Season. They put together a brief video. I'm going to play it for you here, and we're going to look at it. I'm going to pause it and explain to you what I'm seeing, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the fine details at the bottom. So let's go ahead and get that started. So we have Season 2 starts off with King of the Hill. Now, King of the Hill is not a new mode. King of the Hill has been around since the beginning of time. We've had variants on King of the Hill where the hill actually physically moves around the map. Looks like we may be getting some of that here. I'm going to pause it just for a brief moment and talk to you about King of the Hill. We'll come back to this video in a second. Return of King of the Hill. You know how the game is played, but there's a little bit of twist on this one. A neutral hill spawns at the top of the map, and two teams battle for it. And then once you own control of that, you begin earning points. When the hill is uncontested, it begins earning a point per second into a capture bar. When a team's capture bar is full, they score a point, and a new hill spawns somewhere else on the map. So I don't really see what the big variant is on this, honestly. This is very familiar with what we've seen before. Basically, there's going to be spawn points that appear randomly on the map, and it's going to force everybody to fight over those spawn points and get them. Nothing new or original here. Incredibly frustrating if you honestly think about it, that it took so long for us to finally get that functionality. But it is coming in Season 2, and I am excited. Land grab. Land grab is basically domination, but on a much smaller scale. If you're familiar with the big team battle mode, you're familiar with how this works. There are going to be multiple areas on the map. You're going to grab them and hold them. Let me go ahead and pause it here. We'll scroll down to domination together and read if there's anything exciting in here. Actually, they even do a blog post. I don't even know if they talk really about domination or this land grab mode, because it's so kind of obvious. Unless I missed it. This is a deep dive on the only really exciting mode here. Last Spartan Standing. That's actually something true and fun. Land grab. Yeah, you're going to be able to do some options here, but this is nothing exciting. This is basically King of the Hill. Right? It's basically King of the Hill with some slight variance on capturing points to hold total control to win a point. Whatever. The one that's most interesting and that the video does such a horrendous job of explaining is Last Spartan Standing. And Last Spartan Standing is their take on like a very light version of a Warzone type experience. It's got a little bit of kind of the gun, remember the gun race mode where you basically would start with a pistol, get a kill with a pistol, then you have to get a kill with a shotgun, then a kill with an AR, then an SMG. You know, work your way up the power ladder chain to be the first to complete victory. It's kind of a spin on that, kind of a light spin on like a battle royale mode, and we'll go ahead and take a look at that here. It doesn't really show a whole lot in the gameplay other than it's very clear you are your own Spartan. You are fighting completely alone. As you can see, there are other Spartans on the map. Everybody's running around, And if you manage to collect a Spartan's core by eliminating them, avoiding the poop, of course, you are going to be treated to an upgrade of sorts. So that is the most interesting mode. This seems to be them kind of dabbling into a more proper battle royale. I'm not saying that that's where this is going to go. I'm not saying that the battle royale is going to like suddenly become a thing from Halo. It may not. But this is the closest thing we're going to get. So battle royale is basically this last Spartan Standing mode is basically a battle royale light. It's going to be a free-for-all 12-player big team battle spawn experience. When you die, you can come back up to 5 times. Once you run out of spawns, you're out. And they've added the ability to leave without penalty. So if you're not wanting to see the end, you could just bow out and Alt F4 and curse your bad luck. And everybody cheats and everybody's a hacker and camper. The same wonderful quips you, myself, and every other Warzone player says when they die. So you can do that. They're kind of calling it Escalation Slayer Light. And I think that's probably honestly a good way to kind of explain this mode. But essentially, when you kill a Spartan, you're going to be able to pick up their core. And getting their core is going to give you some upgrade. And that is going to help you, in turn, be more powerful. So they have a little bit of that down here. I wanted to talk about it. If there's some stupid promotional art. I mean, yeah, it's cute, but like no one cares, right? That was fun when we didn't have a game to talk about. Now we have a game to talk about, right? Okay, so they talk a lot about the balancing with things, particularly third partying. That's where, like, if I'm engaging in somebody and you get the last shot kill, they wanted to make sure that they kind of accounted for that so that everybody involved could kind of, you know, whether you, as long as you were actively engaged in a firefight, you would be earning some sort of progression or some sort of reward that would make you more deadly. Nothing is more frustrating than fighting somebody, not getting the last hit and not getting credit for it. So they've worked on that. And they've done that by spreading these combat rewards to all players who are deemed an assist. And that is kind of nice. So here's what they came up with. You're going to get a level up prompt when you have reached a new level. And that's by killing Spartans and collecting their cores directly, or that's by being involved in a kill. And now you get a nice loadout for that. They also have these you saw in the video, that when the enemy Spartan dies, they drop this AI bubble, and you collect those, and that'll give you a little bit more reward as well. And you're going to basically be able to get upgrades in the terms of random equipment or ordnance pod drops. Kind of like, remember Halo 4? You get a bunch of kills and you're like, oh, let me call in a saw, or let me call in a bubble, or let me call in something. Bring it down, I want it. That's what you're going to see here. There will be equipment scattered around the map as well. And that is kind of nice. So you can kind of make your own luck by killing other Spartans, or get lucky by potentially finding some of these drops. And that sounds cool. I think that will probably be the most interesting mode out of all of these. Only, like I said, because right now King of the Hill and Land Grab they're not really exciting. I mean, maybe to the Infinite World it might be fun to play around or two, but these are nothing new. For me, if Halo really wants to make advancements in what they're doing and they really want to push ahead, they need to invest more time in things like Last Spartan Standing. Not necessarily that mode, but something original and unique to the experience. You know, giving us 20% of what I would consider the core Halo experience, and then drip feeding it to us over years, like Forge mode and cooperative play and King of the Hill and all these other modes that existed that were taken away, like Griffball. I'm sure when Griffball comes back, they're going to make a huge deal of Griffball, or a huge deal about Castle Wars. Great, bring it. We want it. We've wanted it from the beginning, but giving us stuff that you gutted at the beginning isn't necessarily what's going to drive new players back to the game. It's fun new modes, and I'm sure there will be a slight buzz with Last Spartan Standing. I don't think it'll last very long, but it'll be fun, and people will be like, oh, that's cool, a new mode. I want to check it out. And the player base will increase, and people will hopefully come and get hooked and stay and see all the fun new rewards you can get with Lone Wolves and all the new content, etc. That's the hope. The hope is not let's just reintroduce game modes that are old and boring, like Infection that's been around forever. Yes, we want Infection, and I'm sure when Infection comes out, everybody's going to lose their mind for a day or two playing it, but Infection's not going to drive your numbers up. It's going to be the original fun new stuff. This seems to be a very small push in that direction. Let's hope that when this drops, it's actually as cool as we think. As you can expect from me, I will definitely be covering it and talking about it when it drops next month. But for now, I'm wrapping up this video. I will post a link to this in the description below. While you're leaving a comment down there, go ahead and click on it and read it for yourself. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.